Jake Merrick always thought the world of television quiz shows was glamorous. Bright lights, tidy suits, crisp question cards, the hush before the buzzer. But when he arrived at the studio for the pilot of Ultimate Mind Masters Live, he discovered the real show behind the show. And at its center stood the beast himself, that hulking form of intellect known to millions as Mark Labbett. It was the final rehearsal, and the Chaser team, made up of Mark, Evelyn, the Sharp Hayes, Ramon Cruz, and Zara Quicksilver Lou, were orbiting around their props and cue cards. Evelyn, the team's unofficial spokesman, watched Mark lean forward at the table as the audience settled. He wanted to dominate the buzzer, impress, but the director stopped them with a wave. "Listen up, everyone," Evelyn said, quietly but firm. "We don't tolerate it." She meant the bickering, the ego show-off. She'd spotted the build-up, Mark's early buzzer presses, the impatience when things didn't go his way. She'd seen the micro-tug of competition between them, not between contestant and chaser, but among the chasers themselves. Mark straightened. He knew she meant him, and maybe he needed that reminder. Jake's role, camera assistant. He watched from the sidelines as the contestants walked in, brightly smiling, nervous, hopeful. The host, Simon Leek, introduced the chasers. Mark stood tall, Zara grinned, Ramon gave a quiet nod, Evelyn offered a calm but watchful gaze. The episode commenced. Contestants answered, ran laps around logic puzzles, then the chaser round. Mark buzzed in early on a question he didn't quite have the answer to. He made the wrong call. A hush. Evelyn gave him a sideways glance. Mark looked sheepish. Simon raised an eyebrow. Later, between takes, Jake overheard Evelyn speaking softly into her headset. "Mark, we're a team. Let's stay solid. No individual show-off this time." Mark nodded, but his brows furrowed. Jake wondered, was this just a little tiff behind the scenes, or something deeper? As filming progressed, one contestant, Maya Singh, posed a challenge. Her calm, rational style rattled the chasers. The control shifted. Mark's smile twisted into a frown when Maya got 3 correct in a row. He leaned in, whispered, "I'll handle the next one." And he did, but only by buzzing a split second early and giving an answer without full thought. Wrong. The audience groaned. Backstage, the chasers huddled. Evelyn crossed her arms. "Mark, we've spoken about this. Buzzing early, rushing. We stick to the plan." Mark exhaled, but his eyes told Jake a story of frustration, the ambition to shine, the hunger to be unbeatable. In that flicker, Jake sensed that Mark's real opponent wasn't the contestants, it was the mirror of his own competitiveness, amplified by teammates who would not let it slide. Later, during a break, a makeup artist remarked to Jake, "It's rough sometimes in here. They love each other, but they fight too." She pointed subtly at Mark and Evelyn exchanging terse glances. Jake wandered near the green room. He heard Evelyn say, "We're professionals. We're not children brawling in the playground. We set the tone." Mark's voice came low. I know. I just hate losing." Evelyn sighed. "Then don't give them a chance to beat you. Think, breathe, wait your moment." She meant the buzzer, the image, the team reputation. Jake realized then, behind the witty banter, behind the quiz show facade, there was pressure. To win, to look good, to hold together. And when one person's ego threatened that unity, Evelyn stepped in. "We don't tolerate it" wasn't a casual remark, it was a guiding principle. Back on air, the final round. The contestants were given one last lifeline. Mark was poised. The buzzer loomed like a storm. He felt adrenaline roar. He pressed, but still waited to hear the full question. He nearly screwed up. The wrong answer flashed. He clicked his tongue. Just then, Zara whispered in his ear, "Focus, Mark." He nodded, remembered the pledge. He relaxed. The next question, he buzzed, correctly this time. The audience erupted. Afterwards, the team wrapped up. Backstage, Evelyn pulled Mark aside. "That was better. Still room to grow, but good job." Mark smiled genuinely. Jake, watching from afar, felt the flick of warmth in that scene. Camaraderie, correction, growth. The cameras off, the lights dimmed, the team drifted out. Mark paused at the studio door and turned back to Evelyn. "Thanks." He offered a handshake. They bumped fists instead. The tension eased. Jake gathered his cables. He thought, contestants walk onto the set thinking the chaser is the enemy. But behind the scenes, the match is more subtle. It's about team spirit. It's about ego. It's about boundaries. And tonight, Mark had learned something. That being unbeatable wasn't about being the loudest. It was about being part of something strong, united. Evelyn's reminder, "We don't tolerate it," had held firm. On his way out, Jake flicked through his phone. He typed a message to his friend. Crazy night at set. The beast snarled, but he listened. He grinned. He'd gotten a story worth more than any clickbait. Not about a big quiz show star ranting and posturing, but about how real teamwork, in the harsh glare of lights and cameras, sometimes needs a voice of calm to say, "Enough, let's do it right." Because in the chase of brilliance, the biggest challenge is to keep your balance. And behind every quiz show giant, there's a quiet guardian reminding them, we don't tolerate the ego, we tolerate the excellence. And so, as the credits rolled and the contestants departed, and the chasers gathered for a quick debrief, Jake packed away his gear. He looked at Mark, who was already chatting with the camera crew. Evelyn approached, nodded, and smiled. Jake realized then that the real behind-the-scenes drama might go unseen by millions, but it shaped what appeared on screen. The unity, the discipline, the shared code. And if tonight had taught Mark anything, it was this. You can be the beast, but you still need to respect the pack. Because when one member lashes out, it does more damage than a wrong answer. It fractures trust. And the studio audience might only see the buzzer, but the team sees everything. Jake left the studio with adrenaline fading. The day had been longer than expected, but he felt something in his pocket heavier than his camera bag. A story of humility, of rivalry tempered by respect, of brilliance kept in check by the simple phrase, "We don't tolerate it." And maybe, just maybe, that was the greatest answer of all.